Hello, my dear. There is something moving beneath the surface of your life right now, and some quiet part of you already knows it. Maybe you cannot name it yet. Maybe it feels like a whisper you keep almost hearing, a shift in the air before a storm clears, a sense that something in you is changing even though nothing on the outside looks different yet. If you clicked on this today, it was not by accident. Something in you is ready. Something in you has been ready for a while, waiting for permission, waiting for a reminder, waiting to be told that it is safe to open again. So let this be that reminder. You are not broken. You were never broken. Whatever you have been carrying, whatever weight has settled into your shoulders, whatever heaviness has followed you from room to room, none of it is proof that something is wrong with you. It is only proof that you are human and that you have been living for a long time without being shown how your own energy actually works. That is about to change, gently, right here, in the next few minutes. Because your body is not just flesh and bone moving through the world. Your body is an instrument of energy. It is constantly listening to your thoughts, absorbing your beliefs, translating your emotions into sensation, into posture, into the very rhythm of your breath. Every cell in you has been eavesdropping on your inner conversation for years. And today, you are going to learn how to change what your body hears, so that what flows through you is no longer fear and tension and old, tired stories, but light. Clean, warm, steady light. There are 7 spiritual thoughts that, when you welcome them into your mind, begin to soften every place in your body that has been holding on too tightly. You do not need to force them. You do not need to believe them perfectly today. You only need to let them in, the way you would let sunlight into a room by simply opening the curtains. The light does the rest. Close your eyes for a moment if you can, or simply soften your gaze. Picture a doorway ahead of you, old wood, gentle hinges, and behind it, a warm golden light spilling out from the other side. This doorway represents the version of you who already lives in ease, who already trusts life, who already knows her own worth without needing to prove it. She has been waiting for you. She is not far away. She is only on the other side of a few thoughts you have not yet allowed yourself to think. Let's walk toward that door together now. The first thought is simple, and yet it undoes years of tension the moment you truly receive it. The thought is this: your body is always on your side. It has never once been your enemy. Every ache, every tightness, every wave of fatigue has been trying to tell you something, trying to protect you, trying to get your attention because it loves you enough to keep signaling until you finally listen. When you stop fighting your body and start listening to it as a trusted friend, something remarkable happens. The tension that comes from constant self-battle begins to dissolve. You are safe. You are safe. Let those words settle into your chest like warm water, finding the lowest point in a valley, filling every hollow place, asking nothing of you except that you receive it. Picture a river now, wide and unhurried, moving through a green valley under a soft morning sky. Notice how the river does not struggle to reach the ocean. It does not clench. It does not force its way around every stone. It simply moves, trusting the shape of the land to carry it forward. Your life can move the same way. Your body can hold the same trust. When you stop treating every sensation as an alarm and start treating it as information from a friend, your nervous system finally exhales. This is what it means to feel safe in your own skin, perhaps for the first time in a long while. There was someone once, a person much like you might be, who spent years bracing for something to go wrong. she would wake already tense, already scanning her life for the next problem, her shoulders carrying invisible weight before her feet even touched the floor. She did not know that her body was simply responding to a belief she had never questioned, the belief that safety had to be earned through vigilance, that relaxing meant something bad was about to happen. One day, almost by accident, she began repeating a single sentence to herself whenever she noticed the bracing begin. I am safe right now, not forever, not without exception, just right now, in this breath. And slowly, over weeks, her shoulders began to remember how to drop. Her jaw began to remember how to unclench. Her stomach began to remember how to soften. She did not fix her whole life in a day. She simply gave her body permission, one small sentence at a time, to stop preparing for war. You can give yourself that same permission today. I am safe. I trust life. Let these words move through you now like light moving through water, touching every cell, asking nothing, only offering. Notice, too, that safety is not the absence of every difficulty. It is not a promise that nothing will ever go wrong again. Safety, the kind we are speaking of here, is an inner steadiness that remains even when the outer world is uncertain. The way a mountain remains steady even when clouds gather around its peak. You can feel afraid and still be safe. You can feel unsure and still be held. These are not contradictions. They are simply what it means to be a living, breathing person moving through a life that is always, in some way, unfinished. Let your body understand this now, not as an idea to memorize, but as a permission slip it has been quietly waiting for. If it helps, imagine placing a gentle hand over your own heart right now. Feel the steady rhythm underneath, the same rhythm that has carried you through every hard day you have ever survived, every disappointment, every fear, every uncertain night. This heartbeat did not stop for any of it. It kept going, patiently, faithfully, without needing your permission or your belief. That same faithful steadiness lives in you today, and it will still be here tomorrow. You are safe, you are held, you are, even now, being carried by something far more constant than your fear. The second thought is this: what you focus on grows stronger inside you, and what you release begins to lose its grip. This is not magic. It is simply how attention works, the way a garden grows whatever you water, whether you plant it on purpose or not. For a long time, many of us water our fears without realizing it. We rehearse the worst outcome. We replay the old hurt. We give our attention, our most precious resource, to the very things we wish would leave us alone. And because attention is a kind of nourishment, those things grow. But you can choose differently, starting now. You can choose to notice gently, without judgment, when your mind wanders into old fear, and you can choose to guide it back, again and again, toward what you actually want to feel. This is not about pretending everything is perfect. It is about remembering that you have a hand on the wheel, even when it does not always feel that way. Picture a garden now, tended and alive, morning dew still resting on the leaves, sunlight just beginning to warm the soil. Imagine yourself walking through rows of this garden, and notice that you get to choose what you plant here. Every thought you think is a seed. Every seed you tend with attention eventually blooms. Today, choose to plant thoughts of trust. Choose to plant thoughts of possibility. Choose to plant the quiet, steady belief that your life is allowed to get easier from here. I release what no longer serves me. I welcome new possibilities. Let these words settle like seeds into soft, receptive earth, and trust that they are already beginning to grow, even in the dark, even before you can see the first green shoot break the surface. The third thought asks you to consider something that may feel unfamiliar. At first, your worth was never something you needed to earn. It was never dependent on your productivity, your appearance, your achievements, or how well you managed to please everyone around you. Your worth is simply a fact of your existence, the same way warmth is a fact of sunlight. The sun does not have to work to be warm. It simply is warm by nature without effort. You are worthy in the same way, by nature, without needing to prove a single thing. So much exhaustion in this world comes from the quiet, constant effort of trying to earn something that was never for sale. You do not need to earn rest. You do not need to earn love. You do not need to earn a peaceful life. These things are yours simply because you are here, breathing alive, part of this vast, unfolding world. When you finally let this truth land in your body, something loosens in your chest that may have been tight for years. I am worthy of good things, not because of what I do, but because of who I am. Let this settle now, slowly, the way evening light settles over a quiet field, asking nothing, illuminating everything. Picture a mountain in the distance, ancient and unshaken, its peak catching the first light of morning, while the valley below still rests in shadow. That mountain did not build itself through effort or striving. It simply rose over time, becoming exactly what it was always meant to become. Your worth is like that mountain, steady, unshaken, present whether the valley below is in shadow or in light. You do not have to climb toward your own worth. You already stand on it. Before we move forward, take one slow breath together, in through the nose and out, longer than the inhale, releasing anything that has already served its purpose. Notice that you do not need to understand everything about how these thoughts work in order for them to work. A seed does not need to understand soil chemistry in order to grow. It only needs to be planted, and then it needs time and light and a small amount of trust from the gardener that the process is already underway, even in the dark, even before anything is visible above the surface. You are the gardener and the garden both. Be patient with yourself the way you would be patient with any living, growing thing. The fourth thought is this: your emotions are not obstacles to a spiritual life. They are the language of a spiritual life. For a long time, many people learn to see feelings like sadness, anger, or fear as failures, as signs that they are not doing this whole existence thing correctly. But emotions are simply energy in motion, moving through you the way weather moves through a sky. A storm is not a mistake made by the sky. It is simply the sky doing what skies do, clearing itself, releasing pressure, making room for the next clear morning. When you allow yourself to feel what you feel, without rushing to fix it or hide it, you give that energy permission to move through you and out of you, the way a river carries fallen leaves downstream without ever holding on to a single one. It is only when we resist a feeling, when we clench around it, when we tell ourselves we should not feel this way, that the feeling becomes stuck, lodged somewhere in the body, waiting for permission to finally leave. Let yourself imagine a clear sky now, wide and endless, stretching out in every direction above you. Clouds drift through this sky sometimes, some soft and white, some heavy and gray, but the sky itself never becomes the clouds. The sky simply holds them, lets them pass, and remains clear underneath, no matter what moves across it. You are that sky. Your feelings are the clouds. They are welcome to move through you. They were never meant to stay forever. I trust the journey ahead. I choose peace, even in the middle of the storm, because I know the storm always passes, and the clear sky beneath, it was never actually gone. There is a particular kind of relief that comes from finally understanding that you were never required to be emotionally perfect. So many of us grew up believing that a good day means feeling only calm, only happy, only grateful, and that any other feeling was a sign of failure, a mark against our progress. But this was never true, and carrying that belief has cost so many people so much unnecessary suffering, layered right on top of whatever they were already feeling. You do not need to add shame to sadness. You do not need to add guilt to anger. You are allowed to simply feel what you feel, fully, gently, without an extra layer of judgment weighing it down. This alone, this single permission, can lighten a body that has been carrying double the weight it ever needed to carry. The fifth thought may be the one that changes the most in your daily life, because it touches the words you use, moment to moment, often without noticing. The thought is this: your words are not simply descriptions of your life, they are instructions to it. Every time you say, "I am always tired, I never catch a break, nothing good happens to me," you are not just describing your current circumstance. You are handing your subconscious mind a command, and your subconscious, faithful and obedient as it is, will spend its energy making that command true. This is not about pretending. It is about noticing the small phrases that slip out of you on autopilot and gently choosing new ones. The way you might choose a different path through a familiar garden simply because the light falls more beautifully there. Instead of "I never catch a break," try something softer, something more spacious. "Good things are already finding their way to me." Instead of "nothing good happens to me," try "I am open to receive, even in ways I cannot yet imagine." Picture an open door now, ahead of you, golden light spilling through the frame, warm and inviting, like the first light of an early sunrise breaking gently over the horizon. This door represents every new possibility you have not yet allowed yourself to imagine. Every time you speak with more trust, more softness, more openness, you widen that doorway just a little more. "I am open to receive. I trust the journey ahead." Let your words become doors instead of walls, invitations instead of warnings, and watch how differently your life begins to answer you. There is a kind of quiet miracle that happens when you change your language, even slightly, even imperfectly. A person who spends years saying money is always tight might, almost without noticing, begin instead to say, "I am learning to manage what I have with more ease." The circumstances outside might not shift instantly, but something inside begins to loosen, and it is in that loosened, softened space that new opportunities finally have room to appear. Words are not decoration, they are doorways. Choose yours with care today, not out of pressure, but out of tenderness for the life you are quietly building with every sentence you speak. Take a moment now to think of a phrase you often repeat about yourself or your life, something so familiar you barely notice you are saying it anymore. Perhaps it is "I am always behind," or "things never work out for me," or "I am not good with money," or "I am just not lucky." Notice this phrase without judging yourself for having said it 1,000 times before. You were not wrong to say it. You were simply repeating what you were once told, or what once seemed true in a difficult season, and it stayed, the way a song stays in your head long after the radio has moved on to something else. But you are allowed to change the station now. You are allowed to choose a new phrase, softer, truer to who you are becoming rather than who you once were forced to be. Try it now, quietly, in your own mind. Replace the old phrase with something more spacious, something that leaves room for a different outcome. Feel how different that new sentence feels in your chest, lighter, more open, more like a door than a wall. The sixth thought invites you to release something many of us carry without even realizing its weight, and that is the belief that we must control every outcome in order to feel safe. This belief is exhausting. It keeps the body braced, the mind spinning, the breath shallow, because it insists that safety only comes from certainty, and certainty, in this ever-changing life, is rarely something we can fully hold. But there is another way to feel safe, one that does not depend on controlling every detail. It is the quiet, steady trust that life is, at its core, supportive of you. Not perfect, not without challenge, but fundamentally on your side. The way gravity is on your side, even though you cannot see it working. The way the sun rises, whether or not you remember to be grateful for it. When you release the grip of constant control, even just a little, you free up an enormous amount of energy that was being spent bracing for disaster. Energy that can now be spent living. Think for a moment about how much energy control actually costs. Every hour spent bracing for a bad outcome. Every sleepless night spent rehearsing a conversation that has not happened yet. Every attempt to manage another person's feelings or predict every possible future. All of it draws from the same well of energy your body needs for healing, for creativity, for simple, quiet joy. When you release even a small portion of that grip, you are not giving up. You are redirecting. You are choosing to spend your limited, precious energy on living instead of on guarding, on trusting instead of on predicting, on being present instead of endlessly rehearsing a future that has not yet arrived and may never arrive in the form you feared. Picture the horizon now, wide and infinite, the line where the sky meets the earth, stretching endlessly in every direction. You do not need to see the whole path ahead of you to trust that it exists. The horizon is proof that the world continues, even past what your eyes can currently see. Your life is the same. The next steps are there, waiting, even if you cannot map them out today. I trust life. I trust the journey ahead, even the parts I cannot yet see. Let this trust settle into your spine now, straightening it gently, the way a plant straightens itself toward the light without needing to understand photosynthesis, without needing to control the sun. It simply leans toward warmth, and warmth meets it there. The seventh and final thought is perhaps the quietest, and yet it may be the most powerful of them all. It is this: you are allowed to feel good, right now, before anything outside of you has changed. For so long, so many of us have believed that peace is something we earn only after every problem is solved, that joy has to wait in line behind every unfinished task, every unresolved worry, every imperfect circumstance. But peace was never meant to be a reward at the end of a long list of conditions. Peace is available to you right now, in this very breath, simply because you choose to let it in. This does not mean ignoring real challenges. It means understanding that your inner state does not have to wait for your outer world to catch up. In fact, it is often the opposite. When you allow yourself to feel calm, worthy, and open now, your outer world begins to rearrange itself to match that new inner frequency. The feeling comes first, the evidence follows. Picture a calm morning now, soft light rising slowly over a quiet field, dew still resting gently on the grass, the whole world still and unhurried, as though it is giving you permission to be still and unhurried too. There is nowhere you need to rush to. There is nothing you need to prove in this moment. You are allowed to simply be here, breathing, held safe. I am becoming stronger every day. I choose peace, not because everything is resolved, but because I no longer need everything to be resolved in order to feel whole. Let all 7 of these thoughts settle into you now, not as rules to follow, but as gentle companions you can return to whenever you need them. Your body is always on your side. What you focus on grows stronger. Your worth was never something to earn. Your emotions are the language of a spiritual life. Your words are instructions, not just descriptions. You do not need to control every outcome to feel safe. And you are allowed to feel good right now, before anything outside of you has changed. Notice, as these thoughts move through you, how your breath has already begun to shift. Perhaps it has grown a little slower, a little deeper, reaching further down into your belly than it did when you began. Notice how your shoulders may have dropped even slightly, even without you trying. This is what it feels like when old, protective tension finally receives permission to rest. This is what it feels like when your body remembers it was never meant to carry the whole weight of the world alone. You are not behind in your life. You are not too late, too old, too far gone, too anything. You are exactly where you need to be to begin again, right here, in this quiet, private moment between you and these words. Every great shift in a person's life begins with a single decision to see things differently, and you have already made that decision today, simply by staying this long, simply by letting these thoughts in instead of turning away. Imagine now a garden path opening ahead of you, soft earth beneath your feet, warm light filtering through green leaves overhead, birds calling gently somewhere in the distance. This path represents the next chapter of your life, the one that begins the moment you decide to carry these 7 thoughts with you instead of the old, heavy ones you have been carrying for so long. You do not need to walk this path perfectly. You only need to take the next step, and then the one after that, trusting that the path continues to reveal itself as you walk it. I release what no longer serves me. I welcome new possibilities. I am safe. I trust life. I am worthy of good things. I choose peace. I am open to receive. Let these words move through your body now like warm sunlight moving across a still lake, touching every surface, asking nothing, illuminating everything they touch. There will be moments in the days ahead when old patterns try to return, when the familiar tightness tries to creep back into your shoulders, when the old story tries to whisper that you have to earn your worth all over again. When this happens, and it may happen, you do not need to panic. You do not need to believe you have failed. You simply return gently to one of these 7 thoughts, the way you might return to a favorite chair after a long day, familiar, comforting, waiting for you exactly as you left it. Your body already knows how to heal. Your mind already knows how to soften. Your spirit already knows how to trust. These are not new skills you must force yourself to learn from nothing. They are old, natural abilities you are simply remembering. The way you remember how to breathe after holding your breath underwater. The way your body remembers how to walk again after an injury, patiently, one small step building on the last. Picture the sunrise one more time, brilliant gold spilling slowly over the horizon, chasing away the last of the night shadows without any struggle at all. The sun does not fight the darkness. It simply rises, and the darkness has no choice but to make room. Your positive energy is like that sunrise. It does not need to fight your old fears, your old doubts, your old tired stories. It only needs to rise steadily, gently, and those old patterns will begin in their own time to make room. You are allowed to feel light again. You are allowed to feel free in your own body, unclenched, unguarded, at ease. You are allowed to walk through your days without carrying yesterday's weight into tomorrow's hours. This lightness is not something far away, reserved for some future version of you who has finally gotten everything right. This lightness is available to you today, in this breath, in this moment, simply because you choose to let it in. As we come to the end of this time together, take one more slow breath and let it fill you completely. Feel your body softer now than when you began, more open, more trusting, more willing to receive good things without needing to prove that you deserve them. This softness is not weakness. It is the deepest kind of strength there is, the strength of someone who no longer needs to brace against life in order to feel safe within it. Carry these 7 thoughts with you as you move through the rest of your day, your week, your life. Return to them whenever you need a reminder that you are supported, that you are capable, that you are already worthy exactly as you are. Good things are already moving toward you, quietly, steadily, even in ways you cannot yet see, the way a seed moves toward its bloom long before the first green shoot breaks through the soil. A new chapter is opening for you, right now, in this very moment. You do not have to force it open. You only have to walk toward the golden light spilling through the doorway, trusting that every step forward is already supported, already held, already blessed by the quiet, steady current of a life that has always, in its own patient way, been on your side. You are safe. You are worthy. You are becoming every single day more fully yourself. And that, more than anything else, is more than enough.